Welcome to Apple Valley Center mandatory training. In this session, we're going to cover two topics: the control of hazardous energy lockout tagout, which is an OSHA standard, Occupational Safety Health Administration, and electrical safety. What is the control of hazardous energy standard? It's a standard that is to protect maintenance workers while working on equipment, whether for repair or preventive maintenance, that's powered by hazardous energy. Remember, maintenance employees are the only authorized employees to perform lockout tagout in our center. Some of the energy sources are mechanical, hydraulic, electrical, gas, pneumatic, water, chemical, thermal. But the reality is, in our center, we'll be locking out and tagging out electrical, gas, and water. What does it mean to lockout tagout? As you can see by the picture, is a placement of a lock and a tag on an energy isolating device. You'll find this in our laundry department and parts in our dietary department. If we need to use an energy isolating device, as you can see in the picture, that is locking out a breaker or a valve, would use that device. Authorized employees, as we discussed earlier, are maintenance employees only, and infected employees, anyone who has to use that machine or equipment that has been locked out, tagged out, and you would be informed by your manager. Thank you. Now we're going to move on to electrical safety. We in healthcare are highly dependent upon electricity. We use it for charge of laptops, cell phones, our beds, oxygen concentrators, electric heat. So the subject matter is very important to healthcare. There are two main types of electrical injuries. The one on the left is a burn, and the one on the right is electric shock. You're more prone to electric shock in our center versus a burn unless you work in dietary. As you can see in this picture, this is an overload hazard. There are multiple extension cords plugged into a receptacle trying to create more power than the actual receptacle can offer. If you see this anytime in the center, you want to report it. And the way you report it is at each nurse's station, there's a maintenance logbook. And that's where you would record that information into. As you can see in the picture, this was a 3-prong end. The actual ground piece is in an outlet. And this can happen in many areas, especially when you think about our resident rooms. All of our beds are 3-prong end. And what will happen is, if the plug is plugged into an outlet that's behind the bed, just by normal use of going up and down for the resident's comfort, for care, moving the bed for care, and also for cleaning, the bed is going to be moved, and with that friction could break off that ground. If you see that, you need to report it immediately. And if one of the other prongs is broken off, please report that immediately, as we need to take care of that. Here are some other clues that a hazard exists. As you can see, the picture on the left, that's the insulation has been worn off, broken into, and the wires are exposed. This can happen in many different ways. For example, in housekeeping, it could be because they vacuumed up the cord or they buffed the cord. In other departments, it could be running over the cord. For example, our electric beds just keep running over the cord because we didn't place the plug into the middle of the two beds, into the red outlet, which is for the emergency generator. Now the one on the right is where the end cord is separated from the wire. And this happens because if we vacuum a hallway, for example, and we just pull the cord out of the outlet, and that separation can happen. Same thing with a bed. If we move a bed, we forget to unplug it, you could have that separation. But the other danger is you could crack the outlet, which could cause somebody else to get injured when they go plug a device into that outlet. So if you see any of this, please report it. One last thing, all electrical equipment that is brought in for a resident must be inspected prior to use. We must ensure it's a safe piece of equipment. Thank you. Now it's quiz time. Please take your 2 quizzes and turn them in so you can get credit for this mandatory training sessions. Thank you.